Hello again. I'm actually pretty surprised about the positive feedback on the previous video, but I also wanted to thank those very few people who gave me constructive criticism about smaller things so I can improve on video formulas like this in the future. These aren't really my strong suit, so I really appreciate everything I give. This is an educational process for me, and I like to be able to put my input on stories and stuff, and I like that other people like to listen. But I'm just gonna get straight to the point, and this is a video about Mercury, and in order to understand Mercury, we need to understand the main protagonist, who I will continue to call Venus because I didn't see her name in the Steam files. I checked 3 times, so please have it in the back of your head that this is like huge spoiler territory. Literally, in order to get to Mercury, you have to have beat the game already. So I'll just go ahead and give you 3 seconds. A 1, a 2, a 3. Okay, let's get right to it. Again, I'm not the best at reading scripts. I'm literally spinning in my chair as we speak, so please bear with me. But in your first, not full playthrough of PsychoPomp, when all the eggs of the earth are obtained and you create the baby in the center of the earth, Venus will form wings on her back and fly away, rolling credits on the screen and earning you the entry screen song, which is really fire, by the way. You should beat the game. It's also important to note that she keeps her helmet. Yeah, she keeps the helmet when she flies away and takes that little embryo thing with her. Now, why is this so important? When you go through for a full playthrough of PsychoPomp, you unlock the forbidden location and open a note called the Caldman 4, which triggers a cutscene of our main protagonist struggling, which I also reanimated myself at the intro. Her wings wilted until she struggles so much that the screen just shatters with the words "connection to subject lost" appearing in bold red text. After our program resorts to searching some more and digging and doodling, boom, 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 it says alternative subject found. Time to wake up. Introducing us to our new important character, Mercury. I also want to note that there was a conversation between the King of Dogs, who I'll just call KOD, and an unknown character in the orbs in one of the 4 transient locations. I'm gonna just call it the I think it's the pink one. Yeah, the pink one. That hints to the Queen's Awakening, aka the Queen of Dragonflies or the Queen of Venus, Venus, and how both being awake, both her and Mercury, could be a potential problem, which it does, and I'll explain that later as well. Okay, Mercury Brainlock, let's go. When Mercury awakens, who I believe doesn't have a canon name yet, so I'll just call him Mercury, unless otherwise, he's just outside the steps of a motel in the middle of the desert. The sky's clear as day until you see Earth. Your only option here really is to either interact with the vending machine and punch it a few times with a hammer, or speak with the dog from the tutorial of the game, the King of Dogs, aka KOD. He mentions that Mercury's face is abstracted and that something terrible has awakened on the bloody earth. Hold on. Why is bloody capitalized? I didn't notice it before when I made the other theory, but there are actually 2 entirely different Earths. We have normal Earth, where Venus was from originally before and upon awakening, and Bloody Earth, which is where she went, where she can no longer be restricted by those similar to her and her abilities and continue her arc of fertility. This could also be vice versa, but for now, this is the order I interpret it. We can see the Bloody Earth at the balcony of the lower floor at the Children's Hospital, in the sky at the tutorial level, and even the game's intro cutscene. Since Venus is no longer considered dormant and considers normal Earth to have no more secrets, she travels to Bloody Earth, presumably to awaken the child's siblings and find more secrets to abolish. Back to the King of Dogs, he mentions earlier before meeting Mercury that the last thing he wants to do is deal with both of them at the same time. Not everything is ready. The key word in that last sentence are the words, "until everything is ready." Nobody was prepared for Venus to fully wake up, which is why the King of Dogs and others just woke up Mercury to react to her in an emergency situation. Having so many kings and queens awake at once must really hurt the planets, huh? Okay, symbolisms and color psychology. I mentioned in the previous video how the Queen of Venus and the King of Mercury's religious symbols are literally just their planet symbols upside down, and according to NASA, Mercury is the god of commerce and wealth, which right off the bat connects to the character by the King of Dogs buttering up Mercury and calling him a business-minded individual, and that he should have no problem figuring the situation out. He woke him up purely to cancel out Venus. It's like water, or like trying to neutralize acid if you have like acid reflux, like I do. Get something basic or something kind of light and smooth to cancel out the acid, to neutralize it. Ones and zeros, black and white, they gray each other out. Mercury was woken up purely to cancel out Venus, which could potentially cause some problems in the setting if there's another installment to the game. Mercury also wears a pretty nice suit. He probably worked in finance prior to being connected as a subject. His PsychoPomp helmet, which in this case is probably just his mask or lines connected to his face, is also gold and much more sleek and round. Like I could literally feel its cold surface from the screen. It's probably like bumpy. It looks cool. According to colorpsychology.org, on the introduction sentence, gold is a rich, luxurious color invoking ideas of prosperity and anything having to do with wealth. Scrolling further down to the meaning and history of gold section, gold is also regarded as something of power and divinity, and was primarily used more in Egypt with religious iconography, which we see in the Thrape village of the Queen of Venus and the King of Mercury. In business and marketing, the site says that it's used to communicate high quality, sophistication, and exclusivity. I mean, just look at this guy. Would he not pull up in a fedora? Maybe even in a Ferrari. I have nothing else to say about these symbolisms, though. Now that the smaller bits are out of the way, let's get to the bigger ones. I'm gonna be extremely ambitious when I say this, and I don't think anybody has really tried to connect these two yet, or interpret these two in the same circle, in a sense. But let's work it from the back up and piece the puzzles together. When going through a full playthrough of the game, Venus will go into the forbidden location and read a note titled the Caldman 4, which when I try looking at it on the World Wide Web, so many different things pop up, like they're literally all completely different subjects, so I'm not about to sit here and condense all of those down to something relevant to the game. It has a lot more information on it that I do not feel like reading aloud, so I recommend pausing if you're interested in reading it yourself or just playing through the game. Again, it is such a good game, and it's free. You know how much work that guy put into this game? Give it some support, please, I beg of you. This note can also be one of those general symbolisms and criticisms surrounding knowledge of space, but this is my video. I'll be observing it from its leaves to its roots. Venus is met with a bunch of eyes staring at her and is censored to her option screen, opening exit, and switching subjects to Mercury. There is also a note in sewer treatment titled April 19th, where assumably Venus felt like she just woke up and is overly positive, feeling that something good has happened. Credits to RE78, I believe that's how you pronounce it, on Steam for deciphering the hospital code, because I was also not about to research that on my own. When you go to Carbonic's website, there is a link at the bottom titled Open End. You click on that link, enter a code you hear from behind a wall in Children's Hospital, and it shows you this. An image of 4 people, including the dog, on a image and tab titled Fun. I don't care how crazy this sounds, but I believe to some extent that these individuals could be the Caldman 4. Or at least tied to it in an interpretive sense. We obviously have the King of Dogs at the bottom right, but the person in the robe and the person to the far right could be Venus and Mercury, even if that's a long shot. Their haircuts even look a little similar, like, come on now. As for the kid, I don't really know too much about them, and there's not enough information in the game, or outside of that, to make an overall theory about the child. That's literally just like an infant. I don't even know why an infant is trying to find catacombs under buildings. But, yeah. So overall, Caldman 4, Venus go awake. Wow, I'm so happy. Main characters. dog guy. Caldman 4. I'll just call this my universe of 4 theory. It could be backed up to some extent, but I just want to throw that out there because I feel like that's a cool interpretation of that image and its thing. Now, one thing I didn't put on this script, but I want to address before the wrap up, there is a lot of mentioning of stars. The fun image ties to stars. The stupid there are no stars letter connects to stars, where it's saying that everybody views stars in a different way depending on their path of light. So the child is imaginative about the stars. The adult doesn't really care about the stars because they only see them. And the dead enjoys the stars because they know that there's been life and enjoyment in their life the whole time up in the sky. But then the fun note also says something about stars and like the child, which ties back to the baby themes and Venus and boom 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 boom. But yeah, I hope you like that interpretation. Let's wrap this up. This one's a little bit shorter, but it's pretty much all I have in terms of Mercury. There's not a lot to go off of for him, so it's really just a lot of interpretation and digging and looking at other people's thoughts. I've actually watched a lot of YouTubers who have given their input on this game, and it has helped me further better my research when it comes to this topic of game and my interpretations, even though I'm a very imaginative person and I just kind of free ball, like we ball. But it's always nice to be open-minded and listen to different perspectives, because if you hear what somebody else thinks and it connects to what you think, maybe everybody can discover something new, and I hope I can kind of bring a new perspective to the table. Put a little bit of bread on there, a little bit of money. But yeah, I enjoy this game to an unhealthy amount. And if there's eventually any updates to the game or new discoveries when it comes to lore, I will probably hop on the train. As usual, my resources will be in the description in terms of, And I love you guys. Whether you listen to my music, IDV videos, or just here in general, friends and family, classmates, it doesn't really matter. I love you guys, and you keep doing what you do, okay? I love y'all, and stay creative. Peace.